It is a big story. Some will say that it's a pointless controversy, it's a needless one, but we'll come to that. I want to begin tonight by asking you a series of rhetorical questions. Can any one party claim exclusive rights over the national flag? Can it say that the national flag belongs only to one party and no other political outfit has the right to unfurl it, salute it, respect it? Can singing the national anthem be the exclusive preserve of one party? Can the majesty of the Ashoka lions, the vigorous symbols of our nation, be appropriated by just one party? Does anyone have a copyright over the national anthem? Viewers, can the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, be looked upon first and only as a member of the Congress party, for instance? The answer to all these rhetorical questions, viewers, is a resounding no. So it surprises me that today a controversy, and I said a needless one at that, has erupted. And this one is over the national flower, the lotus, which is being wrongly associated with just one political entity, the Bharatiya Janata Party. Yes, viewers, we all know it's the symbol of the BJP. And it only acquired this symbol in 1980. Before that, the Bharatiya Jan Sangh and the Janata Party had different symbols, viewers. We know that the Janata Party, when the Bharatiya Jan Sangh amalgamated with the Janata Party, its symbol was a lamp. But an ecosystem led by the usual suspects in the opposition has vehemently opposed the presence of the lotus on the newly unveiled Indian logo for the G20 presidency. You all know next year, viewers, around this time, India is going to be the president or occupy the president's post of the G20. This is a revolving responsibility. Every year the presidency changes hands. And India has, just like every other country before it, come out with a logo, and that logo is clearly visible there in the center of your screens. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister unveiled India's G20 logo, which has a lotus and the motto Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam imprinted upon it. The Prime Minister has made it known that the lotus, the national flower, symbolically represents hope. As you all know, viewers, the lotus thrives in adversity and is a symbol of resilience. And that's what a world mired in conflict as we stand today and yet to recover from the after effects of the pandemic needs more than ever. It needs hope, viewers. So when this government decided to put the lotus on the G20 logo, the G20 being primarily, viewers, a club of the world's most influential nations, the government thought that to assign hope, which is required today, would be a nice way of summarizing the focus of India's presidency. And India is, of course, inspiring hope, as it is a bright spark, perhaps the only one right now, among the world's most influential countries, leading economies, that is growing at the pace that we are growing. So we are a beacon of hope. And that's what we're doing. But despite the lengthy explanation, the opposition has linked the lotus on the G20 logo to a quote. And let me quote, a sinister BJP agenda of shameless self-promotion, unquote. That's what the detractors of the government are saying. But first, listen to the Prime Minister, viewers, as he explains why he's done so. And you tell me if you think that the logic is wrong.
आज जो ये लोगो लॉन्च हुआ है, उसके निर्माण में भी देशवासियों की बड़ी भूमिका रही है। साथियों, G20 का ये लोगो केवल एक प्रतीक चिन्ह नहीं है, ये एक संदेश है, ये एक भावना है जो हमारी रगों में है। ये एक संकल्प है जो हमारी सोच में शामिल रहा है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम के मंत्र के जरिए विश्व बंधुत्व की जिस भावना को हम जीते आए हैं, वो विचार इस लोगो और थीम में प्रतिबिंबित हो रहा है। इस लोगो में कमल का फूल, भारत की पौराणिक धरोहर, हमारी आस्था, हमारी बौद्धिकता, इन सबको एक साथ चित्रित कर रहा है।
Well, that's the Prime Minister giving you a fairly reasoned, well-reasoned explanation. But listen to the truculent opposition that claims that there is an ulterior political motive behind placing the Lotus on the G20 logo. Listen in.
Jairam Ramesh has aptly put it, independence, when it was suggested that the Congress flag should be the flag of India. Nehruji rejected that. So that shows that a democracy, and that shows that there is a difference between the government and party. That seems that they are promoting themselves.
देखिए, बीजेपी के लिए तो देश जो है ना, देश से कोई मतलब नहीं है। ये राजनीतिक दल है। ये जैसे पाकिस्तान में आर्मी है, तो ये बीजेपी इस देश में ये है। सबसे बड़े फ्रॉड है। अफसोस की बात है कि हर चीज मोदी जी इसको पॉलिटिकल बनाते हैं।
कमल का फूल इस एम्बलम में कहां से आ गया? और वो सरकार जो अपने ही देश के 20 करोड़ लोगों के खिलाफ सुबह शाम नफरत फैलाती हो, वो वन अर्थ वन फैमिली का नारा दे रही है। कौन यकीन करेगा? इस एम्बलम को हटाना चाहिए।
एक्चुअली भाजपा इतने ज्यादा इलेक्शन मोड पे रहती है कि उनको हर जगह आगे आहे बगाहे उनको सिर्फ इलेक्शन और अपना पार्टी का जो चिन्ह है वो नजर आता है। क्या आप इंटरनेशनली भी ये बताना चाहते हैं कि देश सिर्फ भाजपा है और देश सिर्फ कमल है?
Now viewers, this is rather strange because a few years ago in 2016 India's logo for the BRICS summit also sported the Lotus, but no one kicked up a ruckus then. What has changed, viewers, in the last 6 years or so that has made the Congress so vehement in its opposition to the Lotus's projection? Viewers, I'll come to some hard facts now. Let's begin. Let's begin with some news that will surprise you. Who dedicated the Lotus today, viewers? I'm going to tell you, to the nation. It was Jawaharlal Nehru. He declared it a national flower. Viewers, this was in 1950. In 1954, the Lotus embossed Padma Awards instituted. So the Padma Awards carried the insignia of the Lotus. No one said, viewers, at that time that the Congress was using the Lotus to project its benevolence. In 54, the National Film Awards were set up. Swarn Kamal and Rajat Kamal were given. Again under Congress regime. No one said that the Congress had appropriated the Lotus. In 1980, viewers, the Lotus was put on the stamp of India. Now remember, viewers, in 1980, the BJS became the BJP. The BJS's symbol was the oil lamp. And then, of course, the BJP appropriated the Lotus as its symbol. Are we to believe that Indira Gandhi was also promoting the BJP by putting the Lotus on India's stamp? Viewers, something is very wrong. Now, while there is a massive dangle over the Lotus, which is a sign of India's Indic civilization. Let me tell you, viewers, Indonesia's G20 presidency logo, and I want to show it to you. And I'll put it on your screens for you, and you decide for yourself. What does that have? That has the Gunungan. Can you see it? Right there. It looks like a bit of a house. Actually, it is a mountain. The conical symbol depicts the mythical mountain, which is predominantly a Hindu-Buddhist symbol. Indonesia, viewers, is a Muslim majority country. It has the largest number of Muslims living in it. Yet, it has no compunctions about celebrating and putting on pedestal a Hindu, Buddhist, dharmic symbol. Here in India, of course, viewers, people are resenting giving the lotus a pride of place because of their own blinkered views. Now, viewers, let me open this up. Let's ask some basic questions. I've given you several examples. Let me first begin with Shehzad Poonawalla, a political analyst aligned to the Congress party, or at least sympathetic to the Congress party. Mr. Poonawalla, let me just ask you very simply this question. In 2016, I can see Shehzad Poonawalla raising his hand. I'm coming first out to Shehzad Poonawalla. Let him put out the various facts that he believes, Shehzad Poonawalla, that the BJP is doing what it is doing and it is motivated by political interests. And viewers, I also want to hear from you, by the way. Should the Lotus be part of the G20 logo? It's an open question to you. I want to hear from you. But Shehzad Poonawalla, I can't understand. I really can't understand this. In 2016, the BRICS logo had the Lotus on it. I've given you hard facts. Why suddenly is the Congress party beginning to resent giving the Lotus a pride of place? In 2016, you made not even a squeak about it. Why are you so ashamed of your own symbols, of your own civilization? What's happening? Explain.
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. And I must begin by saying I think you've completely misread what the Congress party said. And like you rightly put out in your opening statement, it is the Congress that has completely gone ahead and always promoted the Lotus, which is the cultural heritage of India, which symbolizes India. But the Congress is not ashamed of Lotus, is not putting the Lotus down. The Congress is asking a very valid question. And allow me to articulate that question that the Congress is asking. My most favorite book that I always refer to is the Mahabharata, and it leaves us pondering with one question. Does legality override morality? Can you take refuge only in legality over morality? It's a very important question the Mahabharata asks. So yes, legally the BJP may say we are all correct, it's happened in the past. Yes, and I don't deny it. Great. But here are facts from the Times of India. 4 days ago, and I quote the Times of India, the most honorable Prime Minister of India says, only vote for the Lotus, you're voting for me. In 2014, I quote the Times of India, the Prime Minister was pulled up by none less than the Election Commission of India for displaying the Lotus at the voting booth, where the Election Commission said was wrong. He was pulled up for it. He was then the Prime Ministerial candidate. The Prime Minister wants to associate himself with the Lotus, as he said it 4 days ago, and now it's election season. My humble submission was, I respect the Lotus, we all do. You could have had the tiger, you could have so many symbols that represent India. You could have had the Lotus along with the tiger, for example. Why only do you want the Lotus in election time? And that is the question the Mahabharata leaves you grappling with. Does legality override morality? Sure, the BJP may find refuge in legality, but morally, that's the question that needs to be answered.
Well, this is bizarre. This is very bizarre, because viewers, just think about it. In 1980, Indira Gandhi puts the Lotus on the stamp of India. Stamps are circulated by her government. Now, viewers, was she appropriating the Lotus? Was she putting out a free advertisement for the BJP that had been actually born in that year? I don't know. Can you tomorrow... One second. If you were to tomorrow... Okay, 1 second, sir. We all have an equal claim over the Lotus. No one is stopping. There is no copyright. I can wear a Lotus right now The BJP is not going to come and pound me and say, "Bhaiya, aapne hamara symbol kyun pehen liya hai?"
But Modi ji said the Lotus, think about me when you think of Lotus.
He's talking about the resilience it represents. You know what he has said. Why are you mangling his message? Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to sit here and answer. Let the BJP national spokesperson respond to you. Yes, Mr. Shehzad Poonawalla, respond to Tehseen Poonawalla.
First of all, to Tehseen's conundrum, if something is illegal, how can it be moral? So therefore, legality and morality walk in the same path. But let me come to a bigger issue, and maybe Rahul, after this clarification from the BJP, you might have to end your show in the next 1 minute, because here is the symbol of the BJP. This is the lotus symbol of the BJP. If you count, it has 5 petals. Now please ask your viewers to zoom into the lotus, that is the G20 symbol. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 petals. This is not the same. What are we making an issue out of? Now let's come to the real issue. The real issue is that the Congress party, in its haste to do Modi Virod, immoral, goes and does nation Virod, illegal. This is the problem. They go oppose election commission when they lose an election. They go oppose Supreme Court when they lose a case. They go oppose the Indian armed forces. They go oppose democratic institutions of this country. They question the democracy of this country on foreign soil. And today they have started questioning the symbols of our national pride, national heritage. And I, as an Indian Muslim, feel that the lotus represents the collective consciousness of this culture, of this country. It represents our astha, our bodhikta. It represents our Puranic history and legacy. It represents so many beautiful things, and now in the present times it represents how the Indian nation is blooming like a lotus, like the national flower which was assigned in 1950 when the BJP was not even around, how it is blooming at a time when there is a global economic crisis, there's a global political crisis in the sense Ukraine versus Russia, and there is a global pandemic crisis of the COVID. In all these 3 crises, India, like a lotus, like our national flower, bloomed and became a center, an epicenter of goodness and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for the entire world. Opening clarification that the lotus of the BJP behind me has 5 petals and the G20 lotus has 7 petals, both on legality and more importantly on morality. The Congress party, just because they hate one man and one party, start opposing the nation. They are both illegal and immoral.
Mr. Poonawalla, Tehseen Poonawalla, quick response, and after that Nilanjan Das. Yes.
I make one humble submission, and I submit to the BJP spokesperson on one thing. Yes, the lotus of the BJP, and this is different because the lotus of the BJP only blooms in the musk that they spread. But let me make a very pertinent point. Why couldn't the BJP then, or the Honorable Prime Minister, have the hand to bless our country? Therefore, could you have said the hand was blessing our country, because that is also a symbol of our culture. We bow down to our gods who bless us with their hands. Why did you not want that? That shows you are against this country prospering.
Mr. Poonawalla, Shehzad Poonawalla, quick response to your brother.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Can I reply very quickly?
Very quickly, yes.
Very quickly. Tehseen said, why doesn't the current government make the hand? Mr. Poonawalla, you had 70 years to get the G20 presidency. Today the G20 presidency is with India. It's a matter of great pride. Tomorrow you might say, why do we name Kamal Nath? Kamal hata do. BJP ka agenda hai. Rajiv Gandhi se Rajiv hata do. BJP ka agenda hai. Rajiv Shukla ke Rajiv ko hata do. Wo bhi Kamal hi hai. Tehseen, you are taking this debate to the bottomless pit of the barrel. Only Jairam Ramesh and you can find some salvation there. Okay. I don't want to follow you down there.
Okay. 1 second. As I said, viewers, we don't want this to descend into inanities. We don't. It's a bizarre proposition by Tehseen Poonawalla. Very bizarre. Viewers, as the BJP spokesperson says, there is not even, if you look at the 2 images, a contiguity there. That's a separate argument altogether. Symbolism, of course, can be reflected in different ways. But let me just open this up and let me go across to some of our viewers before I come out to Mr. Nilanjan Das. I want to hear from our family, the viewers' family, and I want to go straight across to Archana, who's calling from Delhi. Miss Archana, good evening. What's your view? Should we remove the lotus?
Obviously not. Good evening, Rahul, first. Anything less from opposition would have been news. Obviously, this is not. This is on expected lines from them. Lotus is not only an auspicious symbol of Indian culture since times immemorial, Rahul. It signifies purity and strength. And also it rises above the muck. Unfortunately, that's not true of the politicians of our country. Okay, religious politics is always above national pride. Religious politics is above national pride. And for me, Rahul, faith does not need a language on the lips. It only needs a lamp in your heart, lamp of enlightenment.
Okay.
Sadly, again, it's not true of our politicians in this country. They have to make an issue of everything.
Viewers, Times Now has very erudite, intelligent viewers, and they are giving you unvarnished views here tonight. No one has coached them. Please understand this. This will be the next accusation that will be made. Gopal Krishna, calling in from Bengaluru, I believe he's there with us. Good evening, sir.
Unvarnished views here tonight. No one is coached them. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead with your point of view. Lower your television volume. Go ahead.
Yes. My name is Gopal Krishna. I'm from Bangalore.
Yes.
See, good evening, Rahul, and everybody. See, you described the significance of Lotus, but I would like to add to this. Lotus is the symbol of enlightenment. It is a symbol of universal consciousness, and that is not for is not a property of BJP or not even India. It is of the whole human race or even beyond. So, see, Congress keeps telling that you don't own Hinduism or Hindus, and BJP doesn't own the Lotus either. It is for the whole, and it is in fact very appropriate. If you can see the video, there is 1,000-petaled lotus, not 7, as Shehzad explained.
Okay.
So it is the symbol of universal consciousness.
Okay. So there you go. This is not anyone's property. It's appropriate. And India, of course, viewers, since we are talking about universal, in universal terms, India aspires to be the Vishwa Guru of the world. So why not, viewers, appropriate the symbol of the world's knowledge systems? Let me go across to Natraj, who's calling in. Mr. Natraj, good evening. Go ahead with your point of view, sir. You're calling in from Hyderabad.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Natrajan calling from Hyderabad.
Yes, sir. Natraj.
I have got one point to make. We all know that Congress has become so myopic. That is apart. We all know that the national flag and the Congress flag looks alike even today. Those days, the chakra was there in front, in the middle, and now it is replaced with a hand. If you fold the national flag and you fold Congress flag and keep side by side, you won't make out the difference between national flag and Congress flag. Is it not?
Let me also tell you, sir, that the Congress abandoned the bullocks. Let me tell you this.
Yeah, the point is,
they even abandoned the bullocks and they put a hand. I understand where you're coming from. Okay, Kalpana Ravi calling from Mumbai. Yes, go ahead, Kalpana Ravi. Good evening.
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to your panelists.
Good evening.
You know, I really don't know. Everything becomes an issue for the opposition, especially the Congress. I really don't understand. For them, the Lotus is now a Hindu symbol. I mean, seriously, give me a break. The Lotus is revered everywhere. I mean, suddenly this whole hatred for Hindu has mired their sensibility, I think. I'm hearing such bizarre comments from
let me tell you, Miss Ravi, someone has just sent me a message to say, and again, please, viewers, take this at the level that it is. It's a joke that had it only been a symbol for Hindus, Mr. Nehru would not have elevated it to the level of a national flower. That is what I'm being told. Mohandas Pai, why are you smiling at this? Please, you're being mischievous. Tell me why.
You know, Rahul, I'm just smiling. How many times will this Congress fellows commit seppuku? Seppuku is a dishonorable suicide under the Japanese language. I mean, the people of the country clearly recognize the lotus as a national flower. It has been there, given to us by the great Nehru himself. Instead of owning and saying that Nehru gave the lotus to India, these people are saying the lotus is a BJP symbol. The lotus is an Indian symbol. They're giving BJP too much of credit and intelligence. These people have neither logic nor reason on their side. And you've seen all the calls who come in who are making fun of the Congress. Are they ever going to win elections by going against the great majority of people, abusing them, abusing their Indianness, abusing the country, and saying they're somebody else? These are all hopeless darbaris who cannot win election. Look at the people who put on the TV channel for criticizing. None of them can stand and win an election. All of them are losers. Jairam Ramesh is an out-and-out darbari. Has he ever won an election? Does he have any credibility? His only status symbol is that he is close to a family. And he's a chamcha, he's a darbari, we know that very well. And he comes and makes a statement and we spend time on TV discussing that. I'm just...
Strong words, Nilanjan Das.
Jairam very well.
Okay.
I know Jairam very well. He's from my state. I've had discussions with him. And he's always, saying that Nehru is the greatest creation since God made man, whenever that is. And he is the reason India exists and all that. I mean, he's welcome to his thought. But I'm just feeling so sad that this great party, which is the inheritor of the Indian National Congress, is committing seppuku.
Well, viewers, let me tell you, Indonesia celebrates our Indic symbols. And here in India, we shy away from them. Nilanjan Das, what's your reason? Please tell me. Why are you so opposed to the Lotus being projected on our logo for the G20 presidency?
No, because the reasons that you gave, Rahul, one of the reasons you were saying that the Lotus is the national flower of India. But the MOS home, Mr. Nityanand Rai, has himself said on Rajya Sabha, on the floor of Rajya Sabha, that they do not recognize the Lotus as the national flower of India. So this point is totally a nonsense, because if that is so, then the Lotus would be a national symbol and no party would be able to use the Lotus as their election symbol. So this is one point that needs to be clarified. And next, many of your audiences, they are coming and saying that the Congress party is opposing this move because it is a Hindu symbol. I want to know which Congress leader has said such a thing. I'm not a spokesperson for the Congress. I mean, I'm totally opposed to them, but it doesn't matter. This is absolutely a falsehood. No one is opposing this move to project the Lotus on the G20. Nobody is doing it because it's a Hindu symbol. It's true. I myself, being a Bengali, I know that without the Lotus, we cannot even worship Ma Durga. Everyone knows that we need 108 Lotus to worship Ma Durga. So of course it's not a BJP property. I agree. But having said that, it is the election symbol of the ruling party.
Okay.
So of course, when they are projecting such a symbol, it is actually
on the point of Nityanand Rai.
Okay,
Ms. Das, on the point of Nityanand Rai, Shehzad Poonawalla raised his hand. Mr. Poonawalla.
Rahul, if you were to file an RTI or a question in Parliament, that is Mahatma Gandhi the father of the nation, the answer would come, there's no official notification that says Mahatma Gandhi is the father of the nation. Does that mean that Mr. Nilanjan does not believe that he is father of the nation? Is Godse his father of the nation? For us it is Mahatma Gandhi, whether notification says it or not. And just now you had one Congress panelist saying, nahi, Nehru ji nahi diya ye phool. Ab ye bol rahe nahi, Nehru ji ne nahi diya ye phool. Aap तय कर लो. दूसरी बात, let's leave that. This is the symbol of Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri. Padma Shri award has centrally embossed lotus. ये तो गलत नहीं है ना. अभी खोल लीजिए राहुल जी, आपका अच्छा fact check and research है. This is there on Padma award. I'm sure somebody who has seen a Padma award, journalists like you never got it in UPA, some others got it. But this Padma award has it centrally embossed. Now tell me, this should have been cancelled if this was the BJP's election symbol. Thirdly, these Congress people don't have half the trouble that George's cross was on our Navy insignia. These people have a problem that on G20 there is Ma Lakshmi ka Asan. This is their hatred for Indian culture and symbolism. They can't even, for till now, they could not even find somebody of Indian origin to lead their party. Till now, they could not even find somebody of Indian origin
response,
to lead
Mr.
their
Das,
party.
and I want to open it up to the Swarajya editor as well as the DMK's Dharandir.
Of course, Indians regard Mahatma Gandhi as the father of the nation. But yes, it's a fact that it has not been, officially declared by the government of India. Never. But there are many other national symbols of which India does not have a national flower. We must understand this. This is the same BJP that later on would say that Hindi is the national language of India, because most of Indians believe so, and it is taught in class 3 textbooks. But it's wrong.
So I want to bring in the Swarajya's editor. Look, Mr. Das is sticking to his guns. Tushar Gupta, I just want to ask you. BRIC 2016, look at the logo. Padma Awards, which none of us have ever seen. And I don't believe that journalists should be accepting
Rahul,
awards
do you
from the
believe
state.
that there couldn't have been a better logo than this?
Mr. Das, 1 minute. I'm not, look, I'll be very honest with you. I have no qualms with the Lotus. I have no qualms. I have no qualms. Would you like the 2 cows that the Congress renounced to have been there? That is also a symbol
that could
of
also
regeneration.
There can be so many different symbols.
So what are we talking about?
Specifically Lotus?
So
I want to ask this question to the
but
BJP.
Why not the locust when it is about resilience? What is the problem?
There are so many other symbols.
Okay.
There are so many symbols.
Okay, there are many symbols.
This is nonsense.
Okay. When we win the presidency again, we can have another symbol. Okay. Now, Swarajya editor Tushar Gupta here with us. Tushar Gupta, what do you make of this argument that Nilanjan Das is putting, that the Lotus has been picked out of hundreds of symbols for a reason?
Good evening, Rahul. Good evening to all the panelists. You know, the Congress should go to the insolvency court tomorrow morning because they're intellectually bankrupt. There is no other way of putting this. God forbid, Rahul, tomorrow, just because by the first name you have, someone in the Congress may say that you're a Congress party person. Worse, someone might make you the Congress president just by your first name. That's how frivolous this protest sounds. Mr. Das says that the worshipping of Ma Durga is incomplete without the lotus flowers. Now my simple question to Mr. Das is, when you use the lotus flower to worship Ma Durga, what do you see in that lotus flower? Do you see the BJP? You don't. You're seeing your prayers, your worship, and that is what the BJP is also doing here. Don't look at the logo as the logo that is being done by the BJP. It's by the government of India, the Indian state.
Why is the government
Mr. Das,
promoting only one symbol?
Also, Rahul, there is one mistake.
Why
Mr.
1980?
Das, hold on, I heard you.
Was the Lotus appropriated, the national flower appropriated by the Indira Gandhi government? I want to ask you this question.
This is not a point to even
raise. This is ridiculous.
Okay. This is whatever you're saying is a ridiculous
Mr.
point.
Gupta, let Mr. Gupta finish his point.
One point.
Let him finish his point, please. Yeah.
You know, I think, Rahul, after all that I've heard from the other panelists, I sort of understand why the Congress is angry about the Lotus. You know, the thing about Lotus is it blooms out of muck, out of adversity. In 2013, the Congress was going to the Election Commission before the Madhya Pradesh election saying, hide the Lotus ponds. That is what the Congress was doing in 2013. 10 years later, almost 10 years later, they're still there. So while the Lotus can bloom out of adversity, the Congress cannot. So probably that is what can explain their angst, their anger against the logo. There is no other way of putting this, Rahul. It's absolutely frivolous.
Change between 2016 and 2022. BRICS has the Lotus. Viewers, I keep coming back to this, and I can show it to you in just a few moments. So Mr. Dharanidharan of the DMK is here. 2016 it's acceptable. 2022 it becomes shameless. Why, Mr. Dharanidharan?
Hi, good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on your show. Firstly, it's a great moment that India will be assuming the presidency of the powerful G20 grouping from the current chair, Indonesia. I think it's a great moment for India, and we are extremely happy about it. I think we have spoken a lot about Lotus, and I think to lighten our mood, I want to say a Tamil saying, which means that Surin illamal tamare malaradu, which means without rising sun, the lotus will not blossom. Having said it, I think it's a great occasion. I think it's a great privilege for the country. But I think the small controversy could have been avoided. You could have had the national animal and so on and so forth. And again, the problem with the symbol lotus coming at this time is because of the impending elections in Himachal Pradesh and Gujarat. And also, if you look at the color of the lotus, it's not the pink. It resembles to a common eye. It may appear to be the symbol of the BJP party. And that is the concern.
Well, I just want viewers, please have a look at this. Just have a look at this, viewers. I'm going to put this out. This is the BRICS. One second. Tushar, 1 second. This is the BRICS logo, viewers. 2016 BRICS. Now, here there are only 5 petals, by the way. If anything, it's a closer approximation, one would say, to the lotus symbol of the BJP's. But no one talked about it in 2016. I'm trying to understand what has changed. What has changed, Mr. Dharanidharan? Mr. Shehzad Poonawalla, what has changed?
Can I reply?
Has the self-promotion...
No, sir, nothing has changed.
I'll reply.
Yeah, please.
Specifically. Yeah, very briefly. Like the DMK spokesperson and Mr. Das rightly said, in 2016 nobody objected to it because everybody welcomed it. It was great. But why are you repeating the same thing again? You could have had the tiger, you could have had other symbols. The reason you've done it is because 4 days ago, the Prime Minister said, if you think of Lotus, think about me. Why did he have to say it? And as Mr. Das said, if the Lotus is not the national flower, let's assume it's not the national flower thing, then how does the BJP have it? If it is the national flower, does the BJP have it as its symbol? And if it is not, then why is the BJP promoting its symbol? You can't have heads I win, tails you lose. Either it is the national flower, in which case the BJP cannot have it.
Gave this as a national flag, appropriate it. I can't understand.
Rahul, I challenge the BJP to declare the Lotus as the national flower. They will never do it because that will lead to the cancellation of their symbol.
Sorry?
One second. The
BJP will never declare the Lotus as the national flower.
Okay. Let Shehzad Poonawalla come in, and I want to bring in our viewers once again before I move on to the next story. Yes, 1 second.
Prime Minister Nehru said the Congress flag will never be the national flag.
First of all, Rahul.
Okay, quick response from Shehzad Poonawalla.
First of all, Rahul, can we at least be... This is neither legal nor moral to interrupt me. Neither legal nor moral.
No. Why didn't you choose? Why didn't you choose the tiger?
Rahul,
why didn't you choose? Why didn't you choose?
I am coming.
No, the buffaloes that the Congress gave up on. Why didn't you put the hand there?
No, the BJP would have chosen a tiger. No, Rahul, the BJP would have gone with the tiger. The Congress would have come out and said, oh, look, the tiger is angry.
Before we run out.
Mr. Modi,
would have said the tiger is looking angry.
Let the BJP national spokesperson, there are so many questions of the government. Let Shehzad Poonawalla respond. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Poonawalla. Go ahead. Yeah.
First of all, Rahul, I did not know I would hear this in my lifetime that Himachal Pradesh elections and elections in Gujarat are going to be influenced by the G20 logo. Somebody just said that why has he put this there? He has said if you think of Lotus, you'll think of me, and elections are coming up. Can you believe this? Secondly, now please hear, this 400 schemes were named after one family. तब इनको कोई इलेक्शन प्रभावित नहीं हो रहा और हमारा नेशनल पुश जिसको हम सब मान रहे हैं, प्लीज कैन यू नॉट इंटरप्ट, ये लीगैलिटी एंड मोरालिटी ऑफ द डिबेट में नहीं है. प्लीज लेट योर सिंबल स्पीक. Answer that. Strong, you don't need to interrupt. Now let me complete. Rahul, what can I do if we can't have a civilized debate, Rahul? Let me at least complete.
Please declare Shehzad Poonawalla, please declare the Lotus as the national flower.
Rahul, may I complete my point, Rahul?
Let him finish.
I'll do it, but let me speak.
Mr. Das, let him finish. Let's not talk over each other. He didn't talk over you. Give him that courtesy. It's okay.
Let me speak. So look at the irony. Those who named 400 schemes from toilet to airports after one family have a problem now if the national flower. Now he's telling me declare it as national flower, declare it as national flower. Please tell me, sir, what is your national flower? You tell me what is yours. Do you consider Valentine's rose as yours?
No,
I consider Mahalakshmi's.
Shehzad Poonawalla, don't fall for this calumny. 1 minute, gentlemen, please don't speak over each other. Let me come in on a fact check. Now, 1 second, please. No, let me put this. No, you will also benefit from this. Listen to this, please. It's a fact check. The fact check is the national portal of India.
So
which
what?
Is a, listen to me, Mr. Das. Can you listen to me?
It has not been declared by the MOE.
Sir, can I be allowed to speak and educate my viewers?
It's not a fact check. It's a factually incorrect statement that you are going to make.
Why are you shouting? Let me finish.
Because you are making a wrong statement.
You have preempted everything that I've had to say.
Yes, I know what you are going to say. You are going to say that the portals of the government of India show the Lotus as the national flower. So, but they have not.
Can I just finish? Can I finish? Don't read my mind. It's very complex, sir. It's not simplistic.
Yes, please go ahead.
Now, the National Portal of India, which is a government portal, lists the Lotus as the national flower. However, viewers, the Ministry of Environment and Forests has issued no notification about the Lotus, the national portal, is a government portal. We all know that. However, the Ministry of Forests says not. The lotus on the national portal is described as such. Lotus is the national flower of India. It is a sacred flower and occupies a unique position in the art and mythology of ancient India and has been an auspicious symbol of Indian culture since time immemorial. And it goes on then to talk about its botanical features. Now viewers, a government portal has done so, said it is the national flower of India. Nilanjan Das has a problem.
I don't have any problem.
Excuse me.
I want the government to come out clean. I want the government to release a notification or a gazette notification.
The Prime Minister has come out and told you very simply why it is there. Now, very quickly, viewers.
Why can't he declare it on paper?
Okay, very quickly.
Because that will lead to the cancellation of BJP's party symbol.
Rahul, one question.
Okay, very quickly.
Rahul, one question.
Yes, one question. Go ahead. Very quickly. I need to move on, gentlemen. Please. Yes.
My one question to Mr. Das. My one question to Mr. Das, who's feeling very passionate about the subject. Will he stop worshipping Ma Durga with the lotus flower?
Don't talk,
because it's a BJP symbol, yes or no?
Please don't talk out of topic. We all respect Lotus. It is definitely
answer this question. Answer this question.
That the government should have the spine to declare
That's the answer. That's the answer.
Why?
That's the answer.
Okay, viewers, I want to go across to the viewers. Silence everybody, please. I want to go across to Parmeshwaram from Bengaluru. Mr. Parmeshwaram and Partho from Hyderabad are there with us. Mr. Parmeshwaram, go ahead. Go ahead.
Good evening, Rahul.
Good evening, sir. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, good evening, Rahul.
Make your point, sir. Go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah, Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, very categorically told that it is Vasudeva Kudumbakam. And I don't know why these people are making a small issue into a big issue, these oppositions. And every time Shehzad Poonawalla comes and becomes a laughing stock in almost every show of yours.
Let me bring in, that's Mr. Parmeshwaram's view. Mr. Partho calling in from Hyderabad. Go ahead, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Rahul. Firstly, thank you for giving this opportunity. Very quickly, Rahul, 2 points. First point is, nobody is talking about the pride that India is conducting the G20 Summit next year. Not a single statement from anyone. Second point, when I look at the logo, I just see a lotus. And what does lotus imply? It implies that it is a flower that comes out of the most difficult circumstances, just the way India has come through COVID. You know, nobody is looking at that. I mean, that's my only
symbol
point.
Of resilience.
I thought political analysts will come with more detailed
well, let me tell you, if this is even an election ploy, the Congress, by constantly focus on this, has basically done a lot of surrogate advertising for the BJP. They'll be thrilled that the Congress has gone on and on and on about this ahead of an election. Remember, viewers, this summit, this presidency of the G20 is going to happen next year. So it's not time to the Gujarat elections. Let me also quickly go across to Mr. Nandan, who's calling in from Bengaluru. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You see, this question is pointed to Mr. Shehzad Poonawalla. See, Kamala is the name of Jawaharlal Nehru's wife. Kamala is the name of Indira Gandhi. He keeps opposing the Kamala like that. He might lose his Congress spokesmanship job. So in good faith, he should be supporting Lotus as the symbol.
Well, okay. Look, viewers, you're all part of our family. You have given your point of view. You've heard the panelists. I don't know, viewers, but look, a party that has for years altogether named some of India's most influential schemes, landmarks after the Gandhis, after their sort of end all and be all. I don't know why they are today politicizing a logo which represents certain values. It makes no sense, especially after having kept absolutely swings like quiet in 2016. You can figure it out for yourselves, viewers.